I had the wrong camera up that time, so whoops. I guess we're just gonna go live. We're just normally I like to have a few minutes to make sure everything is functional and hi, how's it going? Oh good. All of my bots are reconnecting. uh Normally I have fancy screens and you know car that didn't happen. So like normally I'm a little bit more put together than this. Today I am not. That's okay. I had I didn't stream on Sunday because racing got rained out on Saturday, so then I had to go work the track on Sunday. English is hard. Ugh. Okay. So, obviously I have a giant box of colored pencils. What I'm working on is going to be coloring what I'm calling the book title or the cover, because that's the image in my head. So let me just make sure nothing else is breaking. I mean, I suppose the constant rain would not necessarily cause you. Oh yeah, so like when it's rainy around here, which it is, uh, it's that perfect. Hey, I want to curl up somewhere. But if it's that way all the time, you kind of get used to it, and I guess get desensitized. So yes, I will forever make fun of all the UK stereotypes because why not? I'm like, I don't understand what this color name is. That's because I'm reading the French color. I don't speak French. Um, so we're gonna do a couple of color tests. Hmm, maybe that that is not sepia. You're lying. So far, that works for the cow. Oh yes, this was a problem pencil. I sharpened it on both ends because the lead got separated. So that is one of those problem child pencils. What are you? Chocolate, maybe. I am trying to find the colors that I want to use for Flint. Okay. You both claim you're the same color. You're very clearly not. Why do you do this to me? I hate when colors lie to me. Hmm. I need a darker brown. These all used to be in a nice fancy case, but that clearly is not the case anymore. Do I not have any like good browns? Okay, pens needs to get out of here. You're the same, yeah. Maybe I could use you. No, it never does. I'm like, well, because it was in a very fancy like wooden box that had like 3 tiers that opened up, and I was like, I have no room for this. I don't know why I was in caps. Sure, great. Okay. Um, Putty beige. What does that even mean? No. If I need to, I want to find like a light cream. Because unfortunately, white doesn't work for, you know, adding color unless you use like a, honestly, unless you use like you're coloring on dark or like a black paper, which I'm not. So, ugh, that looks like a brown. That looks like a brown. That's blue. And then some of these colors, like they look like they're supposed to be like tan, and then they end up being like pink. Why are you called espresso when you look gray? Actually, that's promising. No, that's the one I want. Okay. Chocolate it is. So that is a winner. And now this is why we don't put small children in race cars. I have racing on off to the side. I'm not just randomly yelling at nothing. I promise. I'm not that insane. Jasmine. Why is Jasmine yellow? Um, 10% French gray. Yes. I listen, as you can clearly see, I have zero problems being like, okay, so we need to decide between X and Y, or I need more info on this. What I have is more than enough for me to. That actually might. I don't know. Can you see that there's actually something there? Barely. Um, yeah, no, I have no problem with the amount of info you're giving. If I need clarification on things, then I absolutely have no problem reaching out and being like, explain. Pardon me while I play with the bot. Because I'm an RPG nerd and there was a bot that had that does a text-based RPG. Yeah, so that 10% French gray. I don't know what that means. You can kind of see it when I like scratch hard, but that is not what I want. Nope. But I need to try and find a pale enough color that I can exactly. I need to find a color so that the white isn't actually white. Oh, here's 30% French gray. And now that looks gray. What makes it French? Hello? I checked this. That's oh, here's 10% warm gray. No. 20% cool gray. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it just wants to be pretentious. Beige. No. If I was drawing a person, maybe. Here's 20% French gray. The other problem, yeah, autocorrect. Uh, like, why is it Spanish orange? That I would barely classify that as orange. This is probably the most tedious part of doing this, is trying to find the right colors. So we were going with chocolate. I think that works. Yeah, no, I've been to a bunch of different states, but it's one of those. I only recently got my passport and have no real reason to travel out of the country. At least I haven't. I never went on any of the school trips. Never did any of that fun stuff. Then again, I really wouldn't have classified it as fun with my schoolmates. No, I think that's what I'm going with. We're gonna go with that for now. Oh yeah, I mean, like we did Washington D.C. trips. So like, oh, go to the go to the Capitol, and like, let's not say we did. I went there with my band. That was fun because we got to go play at like George Washington University and play like with actual college level um conductors who were like, huh, I didn't know clarinets could move their fingers that quickly. And I went, I'm a boss. Okay, now when you were talking about a football, do you mean a soccer ball? Oh, hey. I didn't think I actually had this bot in my chat, but apparently I do now. Great. Uh, Fantastic. Apparently I have more bots than I thought I did. Yeah. You see, I personally call them all sports ball because I really could care less about most of them. The only sport that I really watch is racing of really any sort. But it's I'm not a huge sports person in general. Yeah. Uh so I bought my dad a race car. We have a little Legends car, which I will attempt to pull up a picture of. So that, like, which direction is the car that I bought for my dad. We have a racetrack uh, on the island that we race, and it's a little 5/8 scale, like dwarf car. But I will watch pretty much any type of racing. Uh, so when I was on Saturday, when I was saying, or Sunday, I was at the racetrack. I bought the car from my dad, and then we had been at the track. We had started showing up in the pits, and somehow a conversation happened, and now I work the replay booth. So I do all of the graphics for their streams, and I call up all the replays. So I'm always busy with a lot of projects. So having, because if I don't have something to do with my hands, I get very anxious. But yeah, that is fantastic. I will uh, record. I don't have any sort of fancy cameras or anything, but I record on my phone. So we have a YouTube channel for our racing. But so motorsports is definitely my go-to sport if I had to choose. Spell out the acronym for me, because I might just know it by a different name. I may have seen them. So I use Flow Racing, which is a streaming service that has a lot of the local short tracks. So I may have seen them come up. Primarily NASCAR is what I watch, obviously, because, American. Uh, um, so I'm always looking for more racing to watch. It's quite actually a problem sometimes. But the listen, Listen, they race on road courses sometimes. But yes, for the most part, it is left turns. And honestly, NASCAR as a whole right now has kind of been a letdown when it comes to the actual racing. But that's mostly because of the the new cars that they're using. Like they're not good. Yeah, no, they it's this newest generation of car that they like I don't know. They changed the like aero package on it and made it worse. But I have to say probably out of every racing that I watch, some of my favorite is like the sprint cars, like the dirt cars. They put on phenomenal racing. And because, they can keep getting slideways. Granted, I have enough experience watching cars go slideways with my dad racing. He likes to drift the Legends car. It's like, dude, we race pavement. Stop dirt tracking it. Ah, yeah, I turned off my notifications, so I'm not even 100% sure when ads happen. I'm trying to do my best to keep this as like simple as possible. This way I don't drive myself absolutely insane with trying to, oh, let me blend the colors properly. Let me make sure I have all of this worked out. So I'm trying to maybe use like one, two, like maybe three colors. So like I'm probably not going to do crazy amounts of like shading and be like, "Oh yeah, let's have like there'll be shadows, but the outline's clean." Blur the lines of the color change a little bit, make it look a little bit more natural. Darken that just a little bit. Yeah, that was like my thinking behind drawing this was, oh, group shot that could be for the cover. This was before that I had the um your actual scripts, for lack of a better term, the scripts for these. So as I'm thinking about it, if you have like specific covers you want, that's totally fine. This does work very well for that. And me and my friends like to go on adventures. The what is it? Come with us on our adventure so we can learn and play together. Because they are all kind of, ready to go. Yeah, so that is absolutely fine. This is my eraser that I'm playing with. Fancy art eraser. Okay. Just so it's not on a completely white page, I am giving the white spots just a little bit of color. Just so there is something there. Yeah, it does. So it's one of those kneaded erasers, which is basically you stretch it to get rid of all of the like graphite off of it. Uh, what? Oh, I can't spell. That would be why. Yikes! Why does everything happen at the same time? But yeah, just to make it pop off the page a little bit better. Very subtle, that this is literally a cream. Is this the espresso? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. You can always send me stuff. And more than likely, I'll get a notification in my ear and I'll jump. Okay. That is one way to label your files. Okay. How about putting it inside a horseshoe? This is what I think will be Flint. So, like, I feel like I should have another paper to. Yeah, I'm also thinking, like, Flint and Friends fight fires. Flint and Friends learn about littering. Like Flint and Friends study speeding. Like, go with the alliteration because children love that or something. Okay. In one of the scripts that you sent me, you have a different name for the cow. I think it's Herschel. Is it Heather or Herschel? And then is Dazzle a boy or a girl? These are the important questions. Um. Hamish. Okay. Okay. No, that is fine. I figured since you messaged me the name Heather, I figured that's the one we were going with. Uh, I don't know. That seems a little too blue. Okay. Well, no, you said that, but you listen. You can like name opposite gender off of inspiration that wouldn't normally make sense. I don't judge much. Okay. Of course you're not. Don't worry, I won't tell. I don't think that's the color I want. Oh, now, actually, I need that like beige gray that I had. Uh, Hold on. Mm, no. Hey, base. How's it going? Here. Ugh. There's Flint. I'm sorry, base. And Yogi, what do you what scale? What? I think I missed half your question. Oh, like time scale? Once I get the colors like figured out, then it becomes relatively easy to like pump them out. Because even though, yes, technically I do have a life, I do this crap at work. So, like, most of the sketches I've done have been while I'm at my real job. So, I sorry, when the color is gray, green, light, I'm like, huh? Like, what does that even mean? Um, no. So what you need to understand about my real job is that I am quite literally the only person in the entire like 1,000-person company who can program the laser cutter that I use. And that's not for lack of me, like, bitching and moaning and saying, y'all need to get somebody else to learn this, and I ain't training them. And they've failed to listen to me. Therefore, I pretty much have free reign to do whatever the fuck I want. Because what are they gonna do? Fire me? They cry if I try and take a single day off. So yeah, I'm a little spoiled. I put up with a lot of extra bullshit from them. Also because it is quite literally 10 minutes away from my house. So you can't really beat that whole commute. Not like I have a color in my head and I just don't know if I have the colored pencil to match it. Because I have so like if there's a deadline, obviously I'll push to get things done sooner. But trying to make sure that things are done right, I'd I want to make it actually like look good. That might work for Cal. Um, this, yeah, that's not the color. So I can't necessarily give you a clear cut timeline just because I don't know how much detail I'm going to end up putting into these. That might actually work. Um, oh no, absolutely, and that's why it's like I want to double check with you once we make it through one of these, and I have an idea of okay, this is what's in your head. These are what all the characters look like. then it'll be a lot easier to manipulate them into whatever situations we need them in, if that makes sense. Okay. Because like now that I know what colors Flint's gonna be, I can have I now know great every single time the colors are gonna be the same. Once I figure out, okay, now that I have the height differences, it's a lot easier for me to continue. Um, it's just a matter of making sure that I'm doing my absolute best to bring your vision to life. So that's the outline. So we got 50% French gray and 90%. Dazzle is being done in the French gray. Just to put that out there. And it's also obviously never having been out of the country. So uh a lot of it, at least with like the with Dazzle and Flint, it'll be like ears down. Uh and maybe dropped jaw, but trying to draw these things in a like stylized fashion and not be like, oh, this has to be anatomically accurate has been probably one of the hardest challenges because again, I was that horse crazy girl, so for the longest time any like, creative writing assignments I did were all about horses. And then the teacher was like, "No, you have to write about something other than a horse." I'm like, "Okay, fine, dragons." And yeah, we see how well that went. Now I have self-published a book that has a dragon as the bad guy. Let me tell you, it's very awkward writing intimate scenes in the middle of a college lecture, but I wasn't about to actually try in that class after a certain amount of time. Yep, 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 yep. I will never understand why vampires are weak to water. But they are. Do you have a like a publisher in mind, or are you planning on self-publishing, or what well, for all we know, Nyla isn't weak to water, and it's just this flavor of vampire. Hmm. As I am choking on air. Gotcha. This is about that file that I was trying to help with about base. That if they can't provide the like full information or provide you with what you need, they really shouldn't expect you to work miracles. And not to mention, you are recovering still. I wish I had better advice for you, base. And Yogi, the it really all depends on the publisher you find. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that is a completely different problem and way outside my expertise. Yeah, that is, I can imagine, incredibly frustrating. I need to stop breaking the tips off these pencils. That is the second pencil tip that is gone into the ether. As I pretend I'm a ram, apparently. Okay, well, that bottle art didn't work. It's a fungi that broke. Probably because I added an extra space. Oh no, because I capitalized fungi. That's why. Okay. That should work. Yeah, no, so sometimes you just gotta like lay it down and be like, nah, this ain't happening. So it's tough, but yeah, you gotta focus on you at points. Not that I'm the best person to talk to. I'm terrible about putting myself first. Okay. This was the color that I wanted to. That one or Well, that's convenient since the color I had chosen was burnt ochre. And then it's these are the two. Unless we want to go more like orange. Because I'm sure I have a orangier brown. If that description even makes sense. I guess it would be a redder brown. I think that could kind of work. Again, this claims that it is pumpkin orange, but that is not the color of a pumpkin. That is here. That color, right? You can't even. Neon orange. Goldenrod. It's not quite. Mineral orange. There. That's the perfect color. So I have the pumpkin one, and then I have this one. Let me. So I have mineral orange or pumpkin orange. That works. And then I have two slightly darker browns for outlines. And are the go ahead, base. Thank you for stopping by. I hope your night gets way better. You're the most important person. You got to do what you need to do that is best for you. Let's go over here. Okay. So that's going to be the absolute dark outline. So we'll start with this one. I guess I technically need to do Cyril at the same time because he's sitting on top of Heather's head. They're a weird combination of like brown and gray. Unless we just make it up. Because, artistic license. Is this the one I just had? No, that's the one I didn't like. Is this the one that I had? A cool gray. 70%. Yeah. Cereal will be 70% French gray. I am definitely trying. That broke that. It's a good thing there's a craft store 5 minutes away from my house. This way, if I run out of pencils, I can go get more. There, the gang's all here. um, I'm gonna keep hitting my head on this camera, although it's not really my head so much as my horns. Mm. Just to be a little bit, you know what? Um, don't think you're what I want. No. Not even close. What are you? Plain old pink. Nope. I need the pretentious colors. Clay rose. That is suitably pretentious. There we go. Fascinating. That is informative even for me because I never heard of Panage. I'm assuming I'm saying that correctly. Don't apologize about the ads. They run. It happens. I don't expect you to buy a subscription. Yay. I'm gonna blame Harry Potter. So that. But no, that absolutely makes sense. Of protect the other wildlife by, using the other animals you have available. Is it always specifically 300 pigs? Well, because it'd be one of those things like, here's the title of that one, The 300 Pigs of Panage. Like there's your title. Boom, done. Send it. Okay. There, cereal's done. Now I just have to do the cow. Why are we racing full-size school buses? I love that the purple heather. We don't really have purple heather. We have like a more of like a rust color that'll show up around here. But that seems like it'd be really cool to see. Okay. I don't need you. We need pumpkin. Gotcha. It might just be that I don't really pay attention until it's rust colored. We have in my backyard we have some really pretty tiger lilies that'll uh we never planted them, they just kind of showed up. We managed to spin out a school bus. What the fuck, guys? Sorry. Ranting about motorsports. uh maybe. I'm not paying attention to who's driving these buses because I'm waiting for them to get off my track so I can watch the Legends cars. But it was the princess bus. Now, a lot of times when I do like colored pencil drawings, I like to blend the colors so you don't get this like sketchy quality. But I think it works really well for the animals. So I'm not gonna sit there and blend it because that also helps me move along quicker. That makes sense. Are the horns like an ivory color, or are they like like brown or black or something. Or does it not matter because we're taking artistic liberties? Okay. And that's why I like to, you know, pull out the colors I'm using separately. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I need a little bit more like depth of color and just a couple little shadows to show like the bulk. But I think I'm happy with the main cast of characters. I just need to add in now the background. Okay, you should be back now, I think. So, I'm happy with how the main cast of characters. So we went from this to this. Now, do you want to just leave it like this, or do we want to add a background to it? Because adding the background is when I have to start like pulling up reference images, which I have no problem with. I just actually need to do it. I also want to, because I also wanted to do like a, oh, here, these are my friends with like a nameplate as I throw pencils at myself. Okay. So let me make a note of which colors I was using for who first. That was chocolate. I mixed up like 5 different spellings there. And espresso. Yeah, send it over. That. Hello? Pencil? I know I didn't throw that one back. I might have thrown it somewhere. Don't mind me. I'm just losing my mind a little bit. Well, that did not work how I wanted it to. I don't want to go hunt for espresso again. That. Did I use the little? No. Did I actually put my espresso pencil away? That would be unfortunate. Okay. No. Found it. Put it in the wrong spot. Okay. So that's that. That's that. And then I need you. I'm not in the right window. Okay. First Sonya. Gotcha. Gotcha. I will pull that one up. Once I'm done making my palette. Why is it RE? Why? It should be ER. Okay. So now I have my colors, so now I can find them easier. And I won't have to sit here digging, oh, what colors in my head versus what I want to show up on the page. So I can put that back. Oh, yes. Thank you. Not that you can read when I write it in cream. Good catch. Good catch. So what I did notice in your scripts, you never actually introduce the other characters. You say these are my friends, but you never give their names. So I was thinking like, oh, those are my friends. You go to like a picture of everybody else but Flint, then or you show these are my friends and then have it so they're each you can't really see it, but it would be like 3 shots, like 3 slices. Um and then the next page would be like this one. Does that make sense? Do I need to draw it out? I don't think I'm articulating it very clearly right now. Okay. Again, it's just my vague idea. If we need to change it up, that is completely fine. But so basically, you're looking for, again, it's very hard. I very lightly sketched it. So Like this is the grass, ignoring the fact that it's tilted at a 45-degree angle. The little bushes in the background have the tall trees go. Yeah, I try. So to make it a little bit clearer, bush, trees, trees, bush. Like these are trees. So then it works out that this is the same one where it's like, hi, I'm Flint. These are my friends. So it's basically just like shifting the perspective slightly. Cool. So we were on the same page without ever discussing it. Fantastic. I am going to take a quick break, get up, stretch a little bit. Probably like, 10, 15 minutes. Go outside, have a cigarette, then get back up here. So then we can play the what color is the landscape? So what I do at work is I will do these sketches. So I will then trace over them at home with the colored pencils, just to give you an idea of my work process. Because it's a lot easier to carry one notebook around and one pencil as opposed to 1,500 pencils in a giant box. This does not fit in a backpack very well. Once I established, oh, here's the palette, great. So I will switch over to this camera for a second. I am going to take a break. And I'll try and run a longer ad now. This way there'll be a little bit longer of a time without an ad. But yeah, I'll be back. I have returned. So yes, we can have blue skies. Taller trees, darker green, short grass, lighter, but not light green. Listen, I'm sure UK is completely perfectly capable of having nice weather. It just stereotypically does not. No. So I'm gonna go with this blue. And then let me pull up the picture. This one. What? Why are we revving the engine? Oh no, you're absolutely not. This is perfect because otherwise I'd be sitting here being like, huh. By you giving me like direction that that absolutely helps and makes it go a lot smoother. This one, this one, this one. Thank you. Okay. Nope. That could work for the shadows. Need brighter greens. Like I guess could work for bush. What are you? Celadon green? No. No. That's a pretty color, but not for landscape. Hmm, no. I know I own greens. Mhm. Chartreuse. That is such. I have opinions on colors. Where is this like green? Absolutely. The lotus. Oh, the one that I just threw back. This one. Yeah, British racing green. That lotus with the yellow racing stripe. The one before. This one. Okay. So that'll be trees. Okay. Well, that is dark green. That could work for the bushes. 'Cause let's see, what were your yeah, we can we also sorry, I'm going back because the bots chat and I miss um for the 3 panel one, rather than if you want to just do on this page, we would just have to add extra dialogue where it'd be like, oh, and these are my friends, or let's go and whichever on the this is my these are my friends page. It basically we would just name them and give the names there. Moss green. That works to do like so if that's the one we're going with, that could be like the shadows on the ground. Um I don't know. Do you see any of these that catch your eye? Permanent green. That is not the color of grass. I think maybe like this one works, which I think is apple green. I think that would work for the yeah. So this is the grass. That's the trees. One of I have all of them over there. Okay, and then that'll be the sky. Okay. So basically, yeah, this would be the. Let me pull up the dialogue. Uh, I live here in New Forest with my friends, and then have like Dazzle, Heather, Cyril on this page. And then all the text I'm going to add after the fact, because this way I don't have to worry about trying to hand draw text. The second blue. I was going to do like a mix of the two. Uh, nah, permanent blue. This one. Yeah, this. So this is like the mix of the two. So it's a little hard to tell, but this way it's, I go over it with one, go over it with the other. The background I'm willing to do more detail in. So let's see. We said apple green. Basically outlining everything in the lightest color I have so I can go over it if I need to. Go back to the pictures, which basically just look like bigger versions of the trees. Okay. Not that you can actually see any of what I just scribbled on there. What is this? Oh, cable. You saw me scribbling something. Whether or not you can see it is a completely different story. Okay. Um we said so this was the trees, this was the bushes, or did I get that backwards? The darker green is the trees. Punky little kid. What is that line? What was that line? Okay. So the way that's going to actually work out is that the trees are olive green and the bushes are dark green and the grass is apple green. It's all good. That is the theme song for these race cars. Always. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. The problem, it's not really a problem, but the main reason Legends cars are so obnoxious is the power to weight ratio because they have, fancy motorcycle motors in them, but the cars only weigh, 1,300 pounds. Sorry, I don't know what that is in kilos. Uh, but, you know, it is significantly lighter than a passenger car with way more horsepower than it really needs. Yeah, and then with a driver in it, call it 5 times. But hey, can we not keep braking, please? But they have yeah, no, and that's the best part is that your Legends cars and my Legends cars all run by the same rules. It is INEX sanctioned, INEX because it's inexpensive. Uh, but absolutely, we could be running. I could take my Legends car and bring it over there and be perfectly legal to run. See, we're starting to have trees. They don't look like trees yet, but trust me. Hi, Mimi. Normal is usually a good thing to feel. Normal is nothing but a bunch of conformists. Um, Again, we're oversimplifying the landscape so it doesn't take 15 years to draw each page. We're gonna put a little bit of the brighter color at the top. Again, we have the Water Week vampires. We have a bunny out in the backyard that is determined to burrow make a burrow in the middle of the yard. It's like, bunny, what are you doing? Yeah, See, once we picked the colors, this is moving at a decent clip. Now we just have the sky left. If I had it at a different angle, when I have like the road in it, I will absolutely. I have the street view pulled up on my other monitor, so it's one of the. I will add those posts when we're looking at the yeah. So it's when we're looking at the road, I will make sure that I include those. This is why I love reference images. So I know we liked yeah. We will make sure we add all of those little details because that is pretty much exactly why I'm like, oh yes, let me give me the street view, give me all of that stuff. Like if this was based on a fantasy place, it'd be different. This is based on a real place, so we want to make it as true to life as possible. What do you think? Unless I'm in ads, that might be. So rather than risk basically constantly being like, "Oh no, I'm not happy," I think we're gonna call this one done. Hold on. Sorry, I'm watching a race car like get some air. Huh, okay. So this one is done. And this one we are gonna call NVIDIA go away. I'll update you later. So this is going to be the I live here in New Forest in the New Forest with my friends. It's mostly which line of the book. Oh yeah, no, I will. I'll take you a picture. I'll take you a picture of it. Yes, I will send you a picture before I because I'm gonna actually. I think my scanner downstairs is big enough to do this, so I'm gonna actually properly scan this into the computer. But I will, as I remember where I threw my phone. But we're gonna use this one for I live here in the New Forest with my friends. This way I can properly label it. So there is a I'm sending when my phone cooperates. So I just sent you the a picture of it. I just want to confirm this way before I label it. Which line are we putting this? Is this going to be I live here with my friends? Page 2. Okay, I live here with my friends. Yes, I write the dates, in the American way. So this way it is labeled, it is signed. We have our first page done. Second page, technically. Which maybe, maybe, because I bought, fancy display books to actually put in all of this. So I want to scan it and then I'll put it in my binder because I need to keep my copies. Listen, what we could also do when this book series takes off, we auction it off and we split the proceeds. I mean, I probably, if you want, like I think it would be copyright over patent. However, not necessarily. Listen, I have plenty of ideas. You are benefiting from said ideas. So, so it's this is page 1. And then again, it'll be the same, pretty much the same background as this, which I will set up. I'll set this one up now. No, it will be it will be correctly oriented. It's because if you look closely, you can kind of see all the like other hoof prints of me attempting to get his positioning correct. And at that point, he ended up at that angle, and I'm like, well, yes, that's what we're going with. But before we do that, kind of need to sharpen this so I can write. Still don't know what color, why it's non-photo blue. Okay, because now with basically just this small subset of all the colors, I can do the majority of these, like with the exception, oh, okay, I'm gonna need the whatever color to do the fire. If I can not tangle myself up in my cable, that'd be great. Ugh, I need more space. This is a problem. Fire colors. I drew all my emotes for my channel. Oh, you know what? I've completely been ignoring the fact that I have a boss up. Whoops. So let's get the next page ripped out. So, going back to the conversation about publishers, I don't necessarily know how it works for children's books, but I know there are a lot of places that you can print like a photo book or um, some sort of like album or portfolio that you can have them print it, and from there you can basically, the way, rather than having it sold through like major retailers, you would market it through your own means, which lets you have full control over it. And then it wouldn't be a patent because it's not an invention. It'd be more of a copyright on the names. So it'd be like a copyright on like the Flint and Friends series. Again, that I can only speak to how it works here. I don't know how it works for you when you drive on the wrong side of the road. No, literally just had an espresso. Yo, that's chocolate. I float above the road. I'm a dragon, thus the horns. Clearly. Yeah, I can only speak to what I studied, which is, the US stuff. But I know you can publish on like Amazon. They have through like the Kindle Select or Kindle Direct, whatever. You can uh do like self-publishing through that. You can also just pretty much find any company that prints photo books and they will most likely be able to print it. It might be a little bit more expensive unless you order enough in bulk, which again, I haven't really done too much research into this, but they have the options of all the different bindings. They have where you can get a hardcover, you can get a soft cover, you can change the how fancy the paper it's printed on is. And if you're trying to avoid using like a publishing company, that's probably your best bet because then you would order a quantity of them for whatever, and then you would, you know, sell them based on that. No, whoops, I did that backwards. Supposed to cast first. Why did you shift? Oh. I was looking at it earlier. At least again, everything is what I was looking at, and what it was the fanciest pages, the fancy stuff. It was. I didn't look at like what the bulk discount was, but just to get one printed was like $20. Again, don't know conversions off the top of my head. Apologies. Um, yes, 100% because digital doesn't cost anything to make. Obviously the time, but there's no like physical print cost. It's like Oh no, I there's something satisfying about holding a physical copy or just something tangible that you created. And for kids, yeah, everybody's kind of on like in the digital age. So what you can do is do before you actually print these, you could either do a pre-order where, when like, okay, pause, time out. Okay, we back. Fantastic. So, focusing on a digital version or even like a non-traditional, like the video I was talking about, releasing that is a good way to expose people to the story. And then you can either take pre-orders or do a limited run. So if people, I don't know if a like print on demand, I haven't looked too much into it, but if you can find a print on demand place where it's basically, here's this copy and people order from this website, they take their fees, but then you get the bulk of it. That would be something worth looking into. Uh, but I don't know if a print on demand place exists like that at all. But I do know that that would be sort of the ideal um, solution. This way, you don't have to have hundreds of copies sitting around, uh, waiting to be sold that you would then have to ship out. This would let people buy it. Okay. And again, that was just the one site that I was looking at. That doesn't mean that that is the best price or that they don't offer a better price if you order 200 books. So that is, I don't know what the like average cost. Like if you were to go to the bookstore, what does it normally cost you to buy this type of book? I know most people don't usually spend, crazy amounts. At least I would imagine that, like it's a children's book. No, so if you're planning on going lower quality, that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You just have to, again, do the research because again, there very well might be some fantastic service that is offered over by you that I would never know about because it's just not a thing that's done over here. Once we get the bulk of one of these together, figure out how many total pages it'll be with with like the if you want to have like the front insert page, like actually figure out the layout, then you can start getting like more accurate costs on everything. Because yeah, you say um some of your stuff it's like it's 29 pages, but I don't know if they count pages front and back, if they count um like how do they actually quantify that? So that those are the questions you need to have in mind when actually looking more into uh getting ready to create that. So it's if you're going to go with audiobook, I think because you're aiming towards kids, having the video would probably be the way to go. If you because kids aren't going to sit there and listen to something without there being pretty pictures involved. So that narration that I was talking about is probably what the best like I don't know, self-reading media because this way you can show off the pictures. I can since I'm going to have these uh the pictures without any text on them, I can do that in the slideshow and then have like the text be fancy roll in screen and actually make the fancy video like that. Yeah. No, absolutely. Triangle patch just in front. Isn't that this one? This is the opposite side. So I might have it mirrored from real life. Hold on. Now I gotta go reference your pictures again. Okay. Again, I wasn't looking directly at the pictures. So we're gonna make it, you know, our version. Because this one is pretty much finalized. So I will just mirror. So since I put the spot on this side, the I put the spot on that side, I will mirror the pattern of what he has on the other side. Because this is when he has more up here and then a spot. So I'm going to put the other. Our Flint in the book is mirror image of real world Flint. Yeah, unfortunately, since this one's already colored and I have the spot on that side. Well, because the problem is that if I go back to the pictures, is that so? Okay, that one works for that side, but it's because I have pictures of like the same, like the spots moved over the course of him growing up. Where did my needed eraser go? Let's see. I don't know how well this will work on colored pencils, but Mm. Yeah, there's a bunch of spots that were like, yeah, and you're not being difficult. It's you have the character, and you're just trying to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. Colored pencils aren't typically meant to be erased. It honestly might just be easier if I redraw this one. So like this, no, you're good. You're good. That is definitely one of the drawbacks of doing art like this and having to do edits. It there's You can always make things darker, but you can't always, you know, uncolor something. Okay. Oh, absolutely. And listen, this is you hold on to things like this because now I can use this as a, test of, oh, this would be like a test page or like another little, let me sketch something in color. So I'm not going to get rid of that. So, and this is why I do the just straight pencil sketch first. This way I don't mind tracing it over with the colors. Oh no, I fully plan on saving all of these, like, because I haven't really done a whole lot of like artwork, and even when I was back in college. So I have a degree in game design. So part of the problem, the reason why I'm not any sort of fancy game designer, my car had gotten broken into, and my laptop and hard drive was stolen. That had basically my entire portfolio from college. So I have none of that. That was 11 years ago. So I'm over it at this point. It's just, it's definitely one of those frustrating things. Okay. So bush, bush. Tree line and bush. Yes. What? Fantastic. I am going to finish up just doing flint here with the little bit of grass that he's eating. Gotta have that little detail of him eating the grass. I'm gonna finish up. So he's done, and I will do the landscape either off stream or tomorrow because I've been going for 3.5 hours. But I at least I have the outline, so it'll be sky up here, trees, bush, 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 grass. Again, not that you can see with this being so far away. Yeah, yeah, I've been going for 3.5 hours. But I'm like doing this. I'm not. If I didn't have work this morning and I haven't been up since 5 a.m., 5:30, I'd be able to keep going. So like on Friday, which is my next planned stream, I only work half a day, so I could probably go for a lot longer of a stream. And now that I have the script, I'll bang out the sketches while I'm at work. Because case in point, we had to make a change. I finished one, did the next one with the slight pattern change. That's why I do that rough sketch. Yeah, listen, I'll take a picture of the work in progress page too. This way you can see what I have of this. I'll also sketch up like the horseshoe with like the flint like bust shot, I guess would be what that would be called. And yes, I made sure I got that little section of mane that is white on him too. Mm. Okay. I think so. We're doing the very rough, hey, these are the color. patches. Uh, Very, very rough approximation of what it'll end up being. So I'll send you a picture of this one so you can see. Uh, and then I want to. This one, this one. Here. There's the second one. I'm gonna leave that attached. Yes. that didn't work. Roughly this. As a 2-second sketch. So I like the idea of the horseshoe because then we can do, Flint and Friends. You know, so yeah, it'd be like Flint and Friends across the top, and then fight fires, learn about litter, whatever. Because then I can also work on fleshing out this sketch a bit better. Although the horse, I'm not actually that's actually pretty. Yeah, go ahead. We need a fourth friend. Okay. If we're including Simon, yes. So do you know Squirrel? Do you like Simon's face? Yes, we absolutely can add that. And I will actually properly map this out and make it prettier. That is my mood. I'm tired. So, no. Are you happy with the progress so far for what we got in contact like a couple of days ago? Fantastic. I am glad to hear it. I sent you the work in progress picture on Discord, so you have that. No, I will come back to this view so I can push this camera out of my face. Um, I will hold on to the reject. No, 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 no. You're allowed to be a diva. This is your baby. I am just making it happen, which sounds a little strange if you take it out of context. But I enjoy working on these sort of things. So, like, you don't understand. What I'm trying to do is not take over this project and be like, this is what we have to do. We have to do this then, here, 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 here. Because I'm like, oh, we could make a whole website that you can basically have like so you have the Flint and Friends .com .co whatever it is in England because and then you have like downloadable activity pages where you can have just the outlines and um this way it'd be like coloring pages where you can sorry uh color in the characters for yourself and then have like a word jumble and a maze because then you can also sell everything through that website, link it to like a PayPal or like you can use PayPal as the primary like sales medium. Don't even worry. I've already just started thinking about making plushies. Cause is if I can make plushies that are, little people, I can absolutely make plushies. Uh where is it? If I don't fall over. So this is a giant version that I made, but you can easily, make the smaller version that it's just, the kid friendly plushies. But this is my little dragon plushie that I made. So you came to the right person. The yarn crafts is what I do mostly. Like this is my whole business. So plushies will definitely happen because I enjoy making plushies. But yeah, we will when we get a chance to sit down and like actually have a conversation, we can go through, make a bullet point list of these are the short term goals, these are the long term goals. Uh, this is Like go through and make, hey, would it be better to make this ourselves or outsource it? And we will go through and organize all of that stuff. Because I've been told before I am a taskmaster, so I will make it happen. But I have my marching orders for the next couple of uh, scenes. At least I know, okay, this is the main background we're using. Um, and I can start sketching those out. And yeah, we'll be slowly putting this together, and I'll figure out which program is going to work best to assemble everything. Because if we're doing it, sometimes the digital formatting you have to do a little funky. But don't worry about it. I'll make it happen. Uh, so yeah, thank you for sticking around for 4 hours and listening to me ramble. And yeah, I will. I'll talk to you tomorrow later, whatever time, however time works. Um, no, I have the road that you sent the picture of Flint on the road. I was just gonna use that road as the. Yeah, no, it's 4 a.m. for you. It is like almost 11 p.m. for me. Yeah, so I have picture of Flint on a road, plus I have the street view that you sent me. So I will, when I get to that spot, um, I will worry about that. The first one that I'm looking at is the uh forest fires. That is the script I'm working off of first. So I'm gonna start going through that. I will do whatever sketches I can. I'll send you what I get, and we'll go from there. But we'll talk later. And yeah, so everybody else who stopped by to listen to me ramble and draw and watch me draw, not listen to me draw, that'd be a little weird. Uh, yeah, thanks, and I'll see you next time. Boulder Street View, Boulderwood. Did you send me that one or? Yes, I think you did send me that one. Yes, I will talk to you later. Bye.